All right, I think we got this all set up and working, right? Um, so hopefully this time I'm not streaming for like 30 minutes before I actually start streaming. Um, but it looks like everything is working. I tried to turn up my mic volume, but I can't find that setting in the Streamlabs OBS. Um, so I'll just try to talk a little bit louder or um, maybe just sit a little closer to the mic or something. But we are back again in Boundless, and today I want to get some of my farms set up. I'm hoping I have enough time in this stream to get them all set up, but I don't know if that'll happen or not for sure. So I kind of been actually a little bit excited for farms and farming from the time that they first announced that there was going to be farming. And I had fully intended on coming back and playing Boundless earlier when farming was released. And it just didn't work out for me. But I am back playing now, and we are working on getting our farm set up. So since the last stream last week, I've been doing a lot of studying, reading forum posts, watching some videos, and doing a lot of talking with Dewan and Sin. And I think I know I learned a lot about farming, and I think I learned enough to actually be able to properly set up some farms. And of course I'm going to have some network issues. Okay, so I have been doing some learning, and then Sin made an awesome video yesterday that really goes into some really good detail about how to set up your farms. There's a spreadsheet that she put together, at least I think she put it together, that helps you figure out what your yields and seed production are going to be, and did a lot of research and how to farm. So I really don't have much to do. All I got to do is just copy what they've done, and I'll be done. So they did all the hard work. I just get to do the fun part of just building the farms. So I laid out, I plotted an area, and I laid out a preliminary layout of how I want to do the farms that I want to do, at least for now, for the starter farms that I want to do. But I want to show one more thing is I did kind of start practicing a little bit. So I made a little farm down here in my basement for combustion fractions. And this is my first actual official farm. I don't remember how long ago I did it, but I have one seed though that's stuck sitting saying that it's going to take like 3 days to grow. Its crop yield is still 80% and its seed yield is 100%, which is what all of them are at. So I have the excuse me, I have the best setup for as far as crop yield and seed yield, where I'm guaranteed a seed back each time. But for some reason there's a few of them that are like taking forever to grow. Like this one's 1 day, and they were all planted relatively same time. So this one little seed though, he's stuck at 3 days 5 hours, just been sitting there. So first thing I want to do is I actually want to harvest this and replant this, so I don't have any in my inventory. So let's see how much we actually end up getting out of this. We'll harvest all of the ones that are ready to harvest, so we should be able to get exactly the same amount of seeds back that we harvest. And we have an 80% chance of actually getting a crop out of it. So let's see what we get. I need to eat something so I have enough stamina to actually be able to do stuff. This is my crafting alt, so. And I also have all of the farming points on him, so I'll be utilizing him a lot today in this stream while I set up these farms. Here we go, down to the last row, and that is all the ones that were ready, and we ended up with 43 particles and 43 seeds. So that means we actually ended up getting, oh, I know why. The plant says 80 crop yield, and this character actually has the farming the farming epic, which gives me an extra 20% crop yield chance. So 80 plus 20 is 100, so I'll get exactly 100 every time that I harvest these, as long as I utilize this character that has that skill. So now we will replant these seeds. Eventually this farm setup will get, I'll move it to where the rest of my farms are going to be at. I just wanted to play around with farming before I actually got on and streamed farming. And one last one. So we made that work like perfectly. So, this is my temporary combustion faction farm. I do have, thanks to Dewan who gave me quite a few of these seeds that I needed, I do have enough seeds to make another bed like this, and we might do that today. Probably just throw it on this side for now, just to double our output basically. I should have enough materials for all of it. And then this is my noob attempt at getting amber. So this is the I don't know what kind of resin it is, but this is a resin that comes from an exoplanet, and I thought if you just set it out it would solidify on its own and become amber, but that's not how it works. You need an actual tool, that a totem that's forged with the solidify skill or boon, and then you can actually hit it and it'll solidify it and turn it into amber, which we need for one of the crops. So I was trying a couple different things, couple different ways. Like here I tried putting it next to water, seeing if that would cause it to solidify. This one's actually water on top of it, but that's not how you do it, so don't do what I did. So we need to grab one more thing, which is that solidifying totem. It should be right here, so we're gonna grab that. We have the trapdoors. I think that is everything that I need from over here. I believe I've already carried over and brought over all the other stuff that I need. Well, obviously we'll find out when we get over there and start actually planting. So let's head over to the farm location. And we are going to end up doing actually quite a bit of running back and forth between like my farms and maybe DeOne's farms, which are over on the opposite side of the area. Or we may just take a peek at Onyx's farms here. So far what I got is this center plot section is plotted. I've plotted along the bottom row, so where that giant wall of bricks is at, with the eventual plan of plotting all of this underneath here and then turning this area into the underground farms will be in this area. I just haven't plotted all of it. What I want to do first is get the above ground stuff plotted. So this comes up in the middle, and then on each side of here I have 3 beds of 3. And on this side I have 3 beds of 3, and I have set up storage containers with all of the material. I'm hoping I have all the materials that I need in each one of these, which should give me the best results, but we will find out in just a few minutes. Hey Sola, how you going? Been a while since I've seen your name. So, for starters, I'm going to switch to Twisted Foot. Otherwise, it'll take me forever to dig out all of the stuff that I need to. So I'll build with Twisted Foot, and then once I get everything built, then I'll have to switch over to my... Oh, and we're all the way back at home. Switch over to my crafter farmer and utilize him to actually plant the seeds. You still playing Boundless at all, or not anymore? Yeah, I've been super busy in real life. I decided to go back to school, so I'm going to school full time while working full time, and of course I have my my family, so my time is very limited actually for playtime. So let's start. These ones are actually like the more difficult out of these, so let's start with like the simple, like oat. So in the storage chest for oat, I have compact peat, mud, ancient oats, seeds, the water, and then a tiller, but I have a tiller in my inventory too. The only thing is I kind of need to... Yeah, fortunately I'm able to, like, all of the classes that I'm taking, which I'm taking 13 credits, all of them are online. So all my classes are online classes. So generally, like on Fridays is one of my days off from work. I'll spend almost all day on Fridays doing homework. And then I try to get as much done homework wise in the later evenings after the kids wind down and get ready for bed. After my youngest goes to bed, then I'm usually okay to be able to do homework at that point. So we're gonna start by just tearing out the gravel, which we can't see anymore, of course. So let's tear out this gravel really quick. Get started on this. Okay, so we have that tore out. Now I need to double check one thing. If I can find it, I don't know how quick I'll be able to find it. But I need to look at Sin's video that she posted last night and see exactly what is the best setup for this. Because originally I had looked at Onyx Gems Farms, and his is set up with this compact peat. But I think what Sin was showing in her video, which after I'm done with the stream, I'll post a copy of a link to her video, which would probably be better for everybody, so you're not trying to copy what I'm doing, because she did it much better. So I do think she did the tilled instead of the... So I actually need to get me some peat, and hopefully I have some here. And I don't think I do. Nope. So let's run back home really quick. What's up to one? About time you get in here. You wanted to see me farm so bad. So we need some peat. So we're gonna try the tilled peat. And actually what I should do is I should just use one of my skill resets and just add the farming. I would do, what else would I have to do? So there's points up here. I'd have to put points into this to be able to plant some of the seeds. Maybe I will just... You want to see me struggle? I shouldn't have to struggle too hard. You guys did all of the hard work. All I got to do is copy what you guys did. And honestly, that's mainly what Sin just did on her video, because that video is like... tells you basically exactly what to do so you don't mess it up. So this will be our first try. We'll see how bad we do screw it up. And what we're looking at is, like, if you look at the seeds, so it increases yields in tilled peaty soil. The seed content is increased in compact peat. And then you also get increased crop near tilled soil. And you would have reduced crop in compact peat. So, like Sinwa says in her videos, what you want to do is, or at least what like my goal is, basically 100% back on the seeds. I don't need to get extra seeds. I just want to sustain what I have, and then so want to get that seed output at as close as we can to 100%, and then get our crop output as absolutely as high as possible while still maintaining 100% seeds back. When we get to rice, we're gonna have some interesting things to do there, because there's a certain way that I was going to do it, which we'll talk about when we get there, and then there's really the optimal right way to do it. I haven't decided yet which way I want to go for sure, but yeah, for sure. I want to sustain, because I don't want to have to run. I don't want to have to be running around, wasting time running around on different planets collecting seeds, or having to run out and buy seeds because my farm isn't producing enough seeds to sustain itself. So we got all of that laid down. I do not like that grass sticks out there, but we'll see if that's an issue. And now we're going to dig out our channel where we're going to put our water at. We'll see how we do on our first attempt. Took me like 5 different tries and variations in the combustion one to actually get to where it was correct at 80 100. I don't remember what's supposed to think. Well, I'll be able to look in the chest, because I put the block that goes under the water in the chest. I just don't remember. I think it was mud, though. I think is what everybody else has been using. Yeah. Which, yeah, increased crop near mud. So we want mud. So we're going to get a big amount of crop, hopefully. And while hopefully retaining that 100% seed output that we need. I will probably, I should put in some gleam, but I don't think I have enough gleam with me, just so there's some lighting available, so it's not like pitch black up here at nighttime. Now we're not going to do anything fancy as far as making this look pretty or anything. Just basically want to get my farms planted and growing so we can start harvesting them. 23 of these white gleams. I would just need to figure out some type of pattern to... Alright, Sola. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'll have to come out and check out your projects. I always liked your build style and your buildings, so for sure I'd like to get out and take a look at what you got going on. So we need to try to figure out maybe some type of simple pattern that'll utilize 23 of these. Well, we won't utilize all 23 of these gleams, I don't think, in this one location, but unless we just worry about this later. I'll worry about that later. I'll incorporate lights into the fences around it. That's what I'll do. This dang grass is gonna bug me, and it's just gonna grow back, or possibly grow back. I'll have to plot underneath there, then it won't grow back if I add that plot. I don't have that stupid grass growing up through the block. So, taking bets now, or at least guesses. What do people think we're gonna end up at? Are we gonna end up with 100% seeds back, or am I gonna be short? I'll have to see. Do you get XP from tilling the ground too? Alright, so that's all set. We'll have to fill all that in with water. Let's go ahead and till all of this. You do not get any XP from tilling. Oh, is Boundless like Minecraft, where if you run or jump on your... Nope. Where you jump on it and it makes it so it's not tilled anymore? We're almost ready. Almost done with this first one. Or at least, as long as it comes out with the right numbers. We're about to find that out. I guess I could have, maybe should actually set up like just one out of the three and see how that works before I like do all 3 of them the same way and have to rip out all 3 of them because it didn't work. Okay. I should actually have that that spreadsheet. I should have that spreadsheet open on my computer, and I should be punching in the numbers and kind of get an idea of what I should expect to see when I plant these before I put the water in. But no, we're not doing it that way. We're just grabbing the stuff and we are planting. Actually, I'm going to grab the water too. I might as well just plant the... Might as well do it all. So... I don't know if you can see that quick enough, but you can actually see that we are getting 180 crop and 100 seed, so means we're doing something right so far. It only takes 11 hours to grow. Ancient oats grow pretty quickly. As long as I don't miss any spots, I had 150 seeds when we started, so we should end up with 30 left over. This is actually taking longer than I thought it was. I don't know if I'll be able to get all of these crops planted before I need to finish streaming. So that's all of them planted, and they should all say 180, 100, 180, 100. So that should all work perfect. Now we just need to put the water in. Which I should have way extra water, but I just grabbed, I think I brought over a full stack, and I just divided it between all of the different spots by 150 for each one. I didn't actually, don't remember what I think it's like 108 or something like that that I need. I was gonna look ugly for a while till we get back up here and pretty it up a little bit, but For now, it's going to look ugly. But we're almost done. Then we'll take a look at what our final numbers look like after we get this. So it's 106 that we need for water. All right, so oats are done, and we ended up with 220 for crop yield and 100 for seeds. I don't remember what Sin ended up with in her video, but I got to be very similar to that. So oats are done. Let's switch back over to Twisted Foot, and let's do the wheats really quick. See, we've been going for 40 minutes already. I probably have about another 45 minutes or so, I think, that I really can stream. Till about maybe an hour. I might be able to squeeze an hour more yet. I'd like to get all of these done and planted. Now I need to check on... Okay, first let's clear this out. And I need to check on Sin's video to see what she did for wheat. Or I could take a look at the seed again. Take a look at this seed. What does this seed say? So wheat says that it increased yields in tilled silty soil, increased crop near tilled soil, increased your yields near mud and water. So this one I'm sure is the same way, where we actually need tilled silty soil. So I do believe we have silty soil in here though, so. And I actually have some in my inventory. Alright, that should be enough. I need 180. Oh, crap. We're going to... let's mark this out, because once I put this silty soil down, that's gonna match what's there already, and we need to take those rows out for the water and mud. All right, this one we're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna do all of the work on Twisted Foot and then switch over and plant and see what we're at. I'm actually excited for this, getting these farms up and going. Then I need to, I do plan on doing, like I said, down below in a basement area here, some of the underground crops. And then I want to find another location and actually start growing some of the starberry crops. And maybe, depending on how this works out, I might look at actually like building a whole nother farm setup somewhere else too, because Um, right now my shop is supposed to be selling bricks, but I don't have a lot of inventory because it's not that it's hard to get the stuff, but does take a little bit of time if you don't have the right tools. To go out and gather the materials that you need to make the bricks. So what I'm thinking of doing is, if I can get enough materials coming out of my farms, is I can take a look at the possibility of starting to sell like foods and brews. At least a few of them, maybe like in the corner. I'm gonna guess that with farming, there's probably not a lot of stuff to sell, because everybody can very easily set up a farm. So and the product that you can make and sell probably doesn't sell for a lot. Okay. We need our mud. Get our mud put down. Then we'll chisel it. Then we'll till the soil, put the water in, and then switch characters over to my planter or my farmer and see what numbers we can get out of this setup. Again, we're going for 100% seeds and as high of a crop yield as we can get. We don't need to worry about increasing our seed count or anything like that, so I almost wish that I had did these like this instead. Rounded out that corner, and then in here you could do something like this until you get to that end. Or I could just do a solid. I think this is fine. Kind of like the idea of basically this acting somewhat like an irrigation ditch or something. A little irrigation trench to water the plants. Plus then it kind of hides the mud. You don't really see the mud too well under the water. And of course we broke that. Hopefully we have more. Oh, we have a couple more. And now down the middle. See, once you build the first one, you kind of get a groove of how things go. then they go kind of faster, I guess. All right. Let's eat a starberry loaf here. Switch to our tiller. Get this all tilled up. Need an AoE tiller. I don't know if there's such a thing, but does a 3x3 area. That'd be so much quicker. I don't know exactly where I would even go to make a whole nother farm setup. Not really very many areas close around the town anymore that are nice and flat that would work well without having to use like 100 plots to make a flat big enough area. Thinking maybe I could like do another step up, so the next section of plots up on top of that hill wouldn't be a bad idea, because then it's still right here in the same area. Double up what I got. I'm not gonna plant the regular earth yam plant, just because I have so many earth yams. You get so many earth yams so easily from just doing stuff that I don't feel like I need to plant any. Okay. See, these are the easy ones. The other ones on that side are going to be more difficult. They're more complicated because you have to add in extra blocks. And you have to do the right pattern of them, and I haven't like wrote down what that pattern is or anything yet. So that's where we'll have to go look at what the one has set up, or Onyx has set up, or even what Sin has set up, to figure out what that pattern is to get the best results. Alright. Crop number 2 is just about ready to get planted. Okay. I'm going to throw this water in here. Any extra water we'll throw in there. Get rid of the seeds. And let's switch characters. Switch characters and get these planted and see what kind of numbers we ended up with for here. With any luck, we'll see 200 and 100, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what we will end up with, but here goes nothing. So first one, oh, 180. Which is alright, because that's still, I don't know if that's, I'll have to look back at Sin's video and see what she got for wheat, and hopefully it's that same number. Because then with my farming epic, I'll be getting two crops and one seed from each one of these that I harvest. And these grow just as quick as the oats do, 11 hours. The main important thing is that 100% seed yield, though. Yeah, that's gonna be a while. I'm not set up for the Kindle at all, not even close. I still got to clear out the basement. I have to plot the basement here and clear that out. Figure out what I'm going to use for the ceiling. A lot of work to do that needs to get done just to even get close to being able to think about planting that. It'll be quicker for me to just throw down a temporary one in my basement on my base, like the combustion stuff. Which I guess I could do that. Get the material together and just plant one temporary so I get some of it started and going. But to do that, I got to get and actually go to an exoplanet. So maybe next week, if I get to stream on Friday, next Friday, maybe that'll be one thing that I'll do in that stream, is actually go to an exoplanet for the first time. Alright, so we're at 180, 100 for everything, and it grows in 11 hours. Okay, I hope that's good. I'll have to check. Alright, so let's switch back to Twisted Foot. Now we're going to talk about rice. So rice is a little different compared to wheats and oats, in that it can be planted the way that the wheats and oats are planted, but it takes longer to grow. It grows faster. I believe its growth time is the same as wheat and oat if you plant it and have moving water over it. With the moving water over it, then its growth time is the same, so it's reduced by a lot. Now, I was experimenting a little bit, and I got this one, and I got 183. Now, I know Sin's video had a lot higher crop yield, but I think mine is low just because I only have these 2 blocks planted. I don't have like the full row of 3, which will increase the influence of the rest of the tilled soil. So what I was looking at doing is originally I was just going to plant my rice like this because of the amount of time that I play and the frequency of which I'm kind of thinking that I'll be over here to actually harvest my crops. It's probably only every 2 to 3 days. And that's how long these are going to take to grow. like this one hasn't even really started. It's at 2 days, 7 hours that it's going to take to mature. So I kind of want to basically harvest my crops every like 2 to 3 days anyway. So I didn't see the big deal of it doing it that way. But then I was also experimenting with what is the smallest footprint that I can make to accomplish getting the moving water benefit. So I came up with this preliminary design, which basically kind of mimics what other people have been doing. So we take our water and then I don't know what I did with my trapdoors. I don't know if I brought the trapdoors over. Yeah, I know that. I don't think I brought my trapdoors. I'll have to check and see if they're untwisted. So basically I took the same basic concept that DeJuan found or made, or I don't, did you come up with that on your own, how to trap the moving water? Alright, here's the trapdoors. Let's drop the trapdoors in here. So the unfortunate thing with doing it, actually no, it's not even unfortunate. It ends up being the same width, I believe. No, it is one wider. One wider each way because of this extra block here to keep the water from going over backwards. Oh, not quite, can't quite reach it. I've never actually made a trapdoor or used a trapdoor, so I don't even know how you place them. Not like that. There we go. So basically, this uses the same thing, only it's going to come down 1, 2, 3, then it'll drop down, and then it goes over, and it meets right here in the middle. So that has it held. We open it up. The water comes out, drops down, and then they meet right here in the middle. So now the expected time to mature drops down to, this one's 11 hours now, and this one's 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I guess if they're all maturing at the same rate, I can come over and harvest them at that point. And utilizing this layout, I don't feel like it's like a major eyesore, where if I had to bump this up like another level, so it would come down after like 6 or 7, drop again, another 6 or 7, and then finish off at the very end by itself. Then you have something that's way taller on this end. So I kind of like this thought and idea. So let's pick up this water. Pick up this water. The only thing I was deciding what material to build this out of is the bad part, because I'm not going to necessarily want to tear this back apart to change it up. Okay. Need to grab this water because this needs to get swapped over. And then let's just start by tearing out this stuff. And we need clay. I think I have clay though. Yeah, I have clay. And then try to think of how I did that. Copy that same layout. I have a feeling that I'm going to put this together. It'll work. The numbers will be fine. But I'll end up coming back and tearing it out to make it look better. That is my prediction. Okay. Now we just need to I need to tear these out because I didn't pay attention to the placement of this compact clay. So I need to fix that. I need to place them down the right way. We need to figure out what do I have? I don't even know if I have any materials to really use for this. I have 45 bricks. That's probably not enough. Okay, so water. And it's gonna come out 3. these need to be... Well, not, I think that one does too, right? Let's see. Which is fine on the inside. It's gonna suck on the outside because these are gonna be visible. But those need to be there for these 3 blocks. Okay, so I need that. Don't know if you need that. Hope I'm doing this right. I think this should work though. We're gonna test it just from one side. Okay, so now we got that. Put the water in here. Water in here. We'll have to go get some more bricks. But then we go basically to the... This covers up the water while keeping the rest of the water in. This one can go on. This one can go on. We put our water in here, which that brick then holds it in. We gotta extend by one, otherwise I believe the water flows out. There's our trap door. water being held? Okay. Now, let's till this. See if this design is going to work. Switch to twisted. Plant some of this rice and see if this will work. If this will work, this doesn't look too bad. I'm thinking maybe doing a little bit of chiseling on it, but so far it seems to be working right. 200 and 100. 200 crop and 100 seed. And this bumped up to 200 and 100. But yeah, as you see, the expected time to maturity is 2 days, 7 hours. So then let's flip this down. And now it switches to 11 hours. And then it all says crop yield 100, seed yield. Well, this one says it can't grow. So that one, this first row where the water falls down onto it says it can't grow. I wonder what's up with that. Is that just going to be a dead spot in my... These corner ones are at 197. Well, do I just deal with this? These 3 that won't grow and the rest of them work fine? Get out of there. Stupid wild stock. You're gonna be drowning. Trying to eat my rice. Alright, so something's not quite, doesn't quite jive with this exact layout. And we have We have 4 that are a little bit below. Four that are just a little bit below the 100, 100. They're at 98. What? And I'm guessing it's because I didn't chisel out that one corner and put water in that one corner, is my guess. So if I were to do that, these ones would probably work. He did drown. Stupid wild stock. Let me try one thing. I have an iron bevel chisel. And actually, I do have a titanium precision. What happens? Oh, you can't till a chiseled block, I don't think. So I don't think I can chisel. Yeah, I can't chisel that. Let's go for a little trip. We'll run back home and get some bricks quick. Actually, no, let's... I'm gonna leave that open. I'm gonna mess with rice off camera. I'll worry about that off camera. I want to get these waxy yams done. So let's dig this up. See how bad we can mess up on waxy yams. We were doing good on the first two, the oats and the wheat. We did well there. Rice, not so much. We got to do some more figuring out on the rice. Okay. Waxy yams. So waxy yams increase yields in tilled clay, increase crop near tilled soil. So we only really have one choice, is to put down clay soil and till it. So we got our clay soil and our tiller. Starting to run out of time, so I already been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. So I'll probably have to finish these off camera. Maybe a little bit later this afternoon after I get my schoolwork that I need to do done today. But for the most part, you'll get the idea of how I'm doing my farms, and it's all based off of what I've learned from DeOne and Sin. So it's not like the only thing that I did a little bit differently so far has been how I'm trying to do my rice. Or their rice that they've done is all started from one side and flowed all the way across to the other side, where I'm gonna try to do it with flowing from both sides. Okay, so we got our soil in, so let's pick up this where the water's gonna go. I'll have to go take a look at the ones and see if it's hard to tell though, but see if he has stuff planted where the water drops down from one layer to the next layer. If there's nothing planted there, then I know there's nothing I can do. I can work on getting the four corner ones up higher in their production, and I don't know if they'll ever hit 100 in their crop yield or not, but 98, I mean, a difference of 2% I don't think is going to be that noticeable. And then with the farming skill, I'll be getting a guaranteed at least 2 per harvest anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. I'd rather it look good. So this one uses tangle instead. So let's put the tangle down. I didn't even like think or consider like color of tangle or anything. I just got tangle. Oh, it actually looks like there's a right way and a wrong way to join this stuff, or to place this stuff. Oh, that sucks. Again, I don't even know if this is even worth doing, because I bet you don't see it under the water. But in my mind, I'll know that it's, if I don't fix it, in my mind, I'll know that it's not right. Ah. Bummer. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. think I have that all the right way. Don't really see any hard transitions, so if I can get these two yams down, and then I'll probably have to call it for this stream. I'll finish the nuts off camera and figure out something on the rice. We can always come back next week and take a look at how I did the rice and how I did the nuts. The nuts are very similar to these yam ones, so which are just they're a little bit more complicated than the wheat and the oat, but very similar still to those even. But I'm pretty excited. I might not get them all done this stream, but I'm at least farming, so, and that's the main thing for me. That is not right. And that is not right. That's not right either, but oh well. I'm gonna ignore it. Yes, I'm gonna ignore it. That's what I'm going to do. Because the water's gonna cover it. You're not gonna see it. But you will see that. Of course, it'll grow back probably. All right. We just need to till. Till this, place the water, and switch over and plant the seeds. See if we did it right. Alright, last row to till. Let's grab our water. I guess the tangle is a little visible. Uh-oh. We had water everywhere. Flood. We had a flood. At our first flood. It's not too bad considering we've done almost 3 full plants. Farm plots. Looks like through the water you have to look pretty hard to follow the pattern of the tangled, so I don't know if you'd be able to really know that they're not placed exactly the right direction. Alright. Let us switch over to the planter and we will plant and see what we end up with. Now I believe this one, these ones don't, their yield for crop does not exceed 100, I believe, on these ones. So the goal obviously is to at least get 100% seed back. And I think that's should be plenty doable in this configuration. So actually we got 110%. Huh. And we would have, with this guy, when we harvest, we would have 88% with the extra 20. I might have to look at how I'm doing this. This might not be right. If it is, I'll have to tear it apart and start over. Which is alright. I can work on that throughout the next week. Like I said, that if I get to stream next Friday, we can come over and see how progress is on these, whether I changed something up and got a higher seed or a higher crop yield and lowered the seed yield on these ones, or what I ended up getting, how I fixed up the rice, what I end up doing there. And then eventually we'll start actually like working on the actual build. I'm putting in different floor, doing some type of wall. Got quite a bit of work to do on here. But I think I'm going to call it after this plant. The exotic tuber plant is basically very much the same as this, but instead of the tangled under the water, you use dark glass, and then you use peaty soil. So otherwise the setup is going to be the same exact thing. I'll put the soil down the middle, water on the outside, dark glass down under the water, and call it good. So with that, I'm going to end the stream here. We went an hour and 41 minutes. It's probably maybe only about 10 minutes. I think I wanted to go about an hour and a half or so. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody that stopped by. Feel free to swing by and check out my farms and take a look at it for yourself. Once this video is up, I will try to remember to come back and put a link to Sin's video for her farming tutorial that she put together, which is very well done. I'll put that a link to that video in the either in the comments. I'll pin it in the first comments, or I'll put it in the description. So that way, if anybody else is interested in seeing exactly how she does it and figures out what to use, if you want to, because there's obviously different ways to do it. If you want to increase your seeds, you'll want to utilize different materials in the way that I'm doing it. So again, I will talk to everybody later. Hopefully next Friday we can stream again and we can check the progress of where I'm at with the farms, how I'm doing. Maybe what I'll do for the next week is I'll clean out these storage chests, and I will actually put whatever I harvest out of here, obviously except for the seeds, unless like on these ones where I'm getting extra seeds, whatever I harvest minus the seeds that I put back to plant, I will put in chests, and then next week we can take a look at what I got for the week. So that sounds like kind of a fun idea. So again, thanks everybody for watching, and I will talk to everybody later. See ya.